live.
You get the notification?
Yeah, you're live. We're live right now.
Okay. All right, cool. Greetings, everyone. Let me say peace, love, light to everyone. Peace and love to all that will be watching, to all that will be joining in the chat. Uh, I am here right now with Brother American Arawak, and we are giving an up to date on the new book that he has put together and put out, right? And currently working on the other volumes that are to be coming out, called Just Tools of a Freeman. Uh, our brother had put this book together to give or to equip our brothers and sisters out there with knowledge of how to operate within the realms of this system and outside the realms of this system. And there's a vast amount of knowledge out there. So, what our brother will be doing is constructing these knowledge and putting them together, trying to break them down in their simplest form for our brothers and sisters out there that have difficulties also comprehending some of the information as well, right? So this is the reason. This is a few of the reasons why he had put this book together. Okay, and I say much power to him, much respect to him, and this is the step moving forward to getting more books put together. Brother Lacono showed us the way when he put out his children's book, and Brother American Arawak has now added on to that, where he's putting out the books with the tools for folks to be able to maneuver in and out of this system, right? We all have to start somewhere. There's some people out there that's more advanced in the knowledge than others. There's some people out there that's just now coming into the knowledge. So we have to figure out a way how to please um, both sets, right? As well. So yeah. So we're here with Brother American Arawak. So let me say honor to everyone that's in the chat once again, and we'll let our brother introduce himself. Go ahead, Arawak.
Yeah. Greetings, people. As you know, the channel, American RX Nation. I administer over there. Um, Recently, the American RX Learning Institute, with, of course, with I as the author of the book, um, decided to publish reading material for your use, like hands on, something much more like more of a manual of how to you know recognize and how to approach the situation when it comes to this commercial system, and what is the pivoting point of all of our uh, what you'd say, like, your headaches, so to speak, such as you wonder why you're not able to reach your full potential after working so many jobs, after doing so many things, thinking that listening to the society is the right way to go. Go to school, get a job, pay your bills, all of that. Go to school, get a job, pay your bills. That's the usual talk. That's the cliche. But regardless of even doing all that, going to school, get a job, a lot of people, they actually tie themselves even deeper into certain situations. Like, for example, you have like one of those kryptonites is the student loan system. Of how they set it up, where you now pledge your autograph as security, as surety for security instrument to repay this alleged loan, which is if you look at it logically, you will realize that you're the only one giving credit, and those people are nothing more than depository organizations or corporations where you deposit your pledge, and of course they take your pledge and they know how to broker it and securitize it for the open market. So the investors or the stockbrokers or all these foreign entities could buy up these things in what you call pooling agreements, servicing and pooling agreements, which you are actually a third party beneficiary of, that it was never disclosed to you. So basically, what I'm saying is every situation you find yourself in, it's actually you who did it to yourself via signing away your rights, power of attorney. As all you know, in some situations, you sign away your power of attorney. When you sign away your power of attorney, now they take it as an assignment and they assign the assignment to an assignee, and that's where everything gets pulled up and bought up in one bulk for a price, for a discount price. And of course, you never benefit from any of those arrangements. So the book is pretty much exposing the underworld of when you sign any documents, and it's showing you that you are the only one on there who actually should be benefiting from all these, um, you know, anything they create in that public realm or commercial realm from off your signatures. Actually, you are the one, you are the only one, unless you gave up your power of attorney or your beneficial interest and you didn't claim it back, then you're the only one left hanging, and everyone have the bag except you.
Yeah.
So the book is pretty much in that format for you to overstand it in a more simplified manner, so you don't get caught up in the distraction of things that's not necessary. It's just getting to the point of fixing the problem, which is the presumption of who you are. So
Mm.
it's a correction that needs to be made um, via the public record or even via that system that you got caught up in. So remember, the same way you come in is the same way you come out. So your perpetual servitude is as a result of course, miseducation that was intentionally done by many groups that many elitist groups that seek your soul for harvesting, because your energy is very um, valuable. Every time you punch in a clock, 9 to 5, you are exchanging your time for a piece of paper. Now, what is more important in this life? Is it your time or is it a piece of paper? Because all you really have in this life is time. So if the majority of your time is going to be consumed in plugging into a 9 to 5, not knowing that you are already wealthy in a sense, if you understand what estate and trust law is, and that you're the only beneficiary of all of those pledges that they assumed you assigned to them without proper endorsement. So that's what the book is really breaking down. Pretty much, it's just getting you out in and out the matrix if you choose to be out the matrix. I'm not soliciting citizens of any kind, or we are not soliciting citizens of any kind. It's just reading material so you could you know further your knowledge if you choose to,
It's food
as
for the brain. No,
food for the brain.
nourishment.
Yes.
Yeah, nourishment.
So as you know, of course, brother Dartman next here, he gets credit for the cover, and it was a team effort. So we are trying to create our own institutions, starting with reading materials, because we have to create our own institutions. Because if we don't, you're gonna be the first in the new slave class, the caste system that's already in place right now, fully operational, and you don't even see you never even saw it coming, but it's here. But yeah.
They saw it coming. Some just didn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that it was going to happen, even though it was happening right before their eyes. Even though a lot of them were, I'm not saying the brothers and sisters here, but a lot of our brothers and sisters out there were the ones in the streets marching and protesting and bringing up past history of lynchings and these things, and talking many years in the pro-black community and the Pan-African community, the caste system and the modern day Jim Crow. And because it didn't identify with their Afrocentric ideology, they ignored the information. So they saw it
Mm-hmm.
coming. It's not that they didn't see it coming. They just didn't care because he wasn't speaking about it in an Afrocentric way, something to identify with Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like even the interview that he mocked did with the brother the other day from Flint, and he mock is breaking down how we are the true American Indians, and the brother is talking about he went to Africa to get an Africanized name. It's like, for me right there, the conversation ended right there. You understand? I'm telling you something deep. I'm trying to show you something deep to why you're in the situation you're into, to why you're not getting reparations, to why you will never get these things that you're asking for, because you are identifying outside of self. And here you are proud of a name, unless you literally have uh, 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 um, an African ancestry background to where you know who your great great grandparents were in Africa. And these things are not telling me that you went and took an African ancestry DNA test, which the creators of that admitted that it's a fraud in a whole comedy skit, right? So, with that being said, this man is there showing you the deepest, darkest secrets of American history, of all the lies that was told to you, and of who the people really are. And he's telling you why he got the name that he has. But the name that he has still has something to do with an American ancestry. And you're talking about a name that you got from the same people that was sent to colonize you. You can't, you see mental slavery? He's breaking down and showing you why Flint is in the predicament that it's in today. You're identifying outside of self. And the colonizer wants you to continue to identify outside of self. Because when you do that, you're telling them that this is not your home. You have nothing to do with here. And
And the
anytime
colonizers are acquiring a lot of land too. A lot
yes,
of land. They're building like I've seen land where I'm at where it's going like the land is there, but it's only colonizers buying it up and putting businesses on it, and they get the best parts, the
yep.
parts closest to the highway. While we are here still arguing about Kunta Kinte, like, come on, man. What time is it now? What? Don't you guys see what time is it? We still arguing about who's Aboriginal and who's not this and who's not that and this and that and blah 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 blah. It's just noise. It's nothing. While you passing, you took a drive. I take a ride on the highway. I look left. I look right. All I see is colonizers buying up all these lands.
And you know what? A lot of those lands, they're not even buying them. The government is giving them grants, giving it to
Yes,
them. You
yes.
understand? They're giving it to them. And because you are still identifying outside of self, you're saying, well, this is not my home. So you don't have no grounds to stand on to go put up a challenge and say, hey, this is my ancestral land. But you don't identify with the ancestral people of here. You identify with another man's ancestry way on the other side of the world. So we're not giving you back shit. We're
Hmm.
not giving you nothing. What we're going to do, we're going to continue bringing in these Afghans. We're going to continue bringing in these Syrians. We're going to continue bringing in these Europeans, these Swedes. We're going to continue bringing in all these people, these folks from Mexico across the The Asians that now colonize all of Mexico, we're going to continue bringing in them and give them all these government programs and all these what they call it homestead programs and give
Subsidies
them
and
all
all
these
these things.
hundreds and
Yeah.
acres of land and sit there and watch you cry for reparations for slavery that happened to Africans, but you are
So go on.
really an American Indian, so you will never get reparations because you're asking for reparations for something that you and your ancestors were not.
Yeah, and you see the thing is too, it's more what you got to understand. These governments are all businesses, corporations. So the aim for every corporation is to make a profit. So it's more beneficial for them to import or take over as many immigrants over here, what you call the Americas. And it's not just the United States. Don't get it twisted. It's all of the Americas, man. It's the whole thing. They're buying up land over here, everything, or the whole thing from Canada come right down. That's what they do. You can't look at it
Yeah,
in a separatist mindset because that's where you're going to lose. That's where you conquered. You see this kind of rift, this COINTELPRO rift that they created between island people and mainland people. That's the big hokey dokey. So you don't see the real problem is all these foreigners coming over here in the Americas, the whole Americas, because all of it is one land. The land is not, it's not separate. So I mean, what are we doing here, man? Everybody is getting wealthy and benefiting from our inheritance. So while we sit and still talk about who is Aboriginal and who's not, what this one looks like and not, I mean, come on, people, we should be way past that by now. You know, it's
yeah.
turning into a circus, like an entertainment. You know, like is it what's going on? Like you want to be free or you just want to be a slave? Which one? You got to make up your mind. The time is ticking.
Like
So
you see, while you guys are distracted with everything that is going on here now, even with this jab thing, yeah, and everyone is distracted with this, they have implemented or have dug deeper into the system to where they're literally taking away your right to do for yourself. Now you have, for those who invest in cryptos, you have Coinbase asking for W-2s, cat EIN numbers and forms. You have Robinhood asking for the same thing. You have even the platform that we have the podcast on, Encore. They're asking for these things. All of these things they're asking for, mind you. They're also now giving all of your information to a third party company, right? Encore has done that, which is a third party company called Stripe. Now, what they've done, they've sold your information because when you join these companies, these banks, because Coinbase is a bank, Robinhood is a bank, okay? And any other platforms, these are just other means of platforms that you joined. You accepted their user agreement and these things, but you not knowing that after you accept the user agreement, you're supposed to also send in a document to their chief financial officer and also to the IRS revoking the power of attorney that you gave them when you accepted their terms, their policy terms. Okay? Because if you don't accept these terms, they don't allow you to use these platforms. All right? So what Coinbase and these companies do, they send you a user agreement or they tell you have by this deadline to accept the user agreement. That is not how business is done. That is unethical and unlawful business practice. They're supposed to have a contract or a documentation to where you agree or disagree to whatever terms and negotiate that contract. You understand? Not tell you that you're supposed to supply this and this and this by so and so period of time, or else you're restricted from your very own account. Mind you, Coinbase is a bank. Trust me, I know they're a bank because I got almost an hour conversation with me talking to them on the phone. All right, because I had an issue with them where they put a certain amount of crypto into my account without my knowledge, a very large amount, right? And I asked for an account overview. And when I asked for the account overview, mind you, this was in my account for about 6 months. This very large amount was in there for. And as soon as I asked for an account overview and went back to go check my account, it disappeared. It disappeared. Then they try to send me some contract about they're supposed to have all arbitrary rights and anything that they say that's arbitrarily do and say, I'm not supposed to challenge it and these things. This is what's in there. This is why they came up with the new user agreement that they have. It was after this talk that I had with them, right? And they had let me know that they had also had me at one point on a blacklist because they didn't know I was recording them until I let them know I'm recording this conversation. Got to understand, when you agree to those user agreements, you give them power of attorney. Now, because you give them power of attorney, pay attention because this goes for those of you who also pay mortgages. Now, because you gave them power of attorney, they now have the power to take any document of yours and give to third and fourth party companies. They have all arbitrary decision to make on your information, on your document, on your account because you gave a power of attorney. That means they're acting as you on your behalf without you even knowing it. Anything that you have your signature on, they can use your signature or sign off on documents for you without you even knowing it. So it's a bullying tactic where they send you agreements and claim that, and they use the United States policies, corporate policies, and say, well, because of this policy, so on and so on and so. But they could put 10 million policies in a document all they want. As long as you revoke power of attorney, they can no longer use your information. They shouldn't be asking you for W-2s, EINs, because for those of you who do pay taxes, you know how to file your taxes and you know how to go to a tax agent. You don't need an internet company having your tax information and also asking for social security information. You don't need them to
Unilateral
do.
agreement with no
Yeah.
meeting of the minds.
What you said, bro?
Yes. I said it's a unilateral agreement with no meeting of the minds. It only benefit them, that corporation that you are signing on the behalf as a trustee, because they switch places with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what a
And
power of attorney is. They're pretty much like the trustee, acting trustee, but at the same time they act as the beneficiary too in some cases.
yeah, because RX can tell you, I caught them in a major. They put hundreds of millions of dollars in my account.
Hmm.
They put over about $500 million. First, at
Yep.
one point, it was 37,000, and
Hmm.
then they dropped 500 million in my account, sitting there for months, and I'm watching it for months. And what I'm researching now is laws on if someone drops money in your bank account because you see they had power of attorney with the user agreement, and that money was in the account, but I couldn't have access to it. They blocked me from having any form of access to it. So the question then should be, whose money was that you was holding into my account? That's the question. Whose money was that you was holding in my account? And if it wasn't for the fact that I have evidence and proof, because after I asked for the account overview, they erased all of that. It got erased, all of it. Okay, but I was told that there's some law out there that if they a company or someone like that after a period of time that money's automatically yours. So best believe I'm trying to find that because I'm going after it,
Hmm.
right? So, but just understand that that signature, your autograph, nothing could it moves mountains. Nothing can happen without it on there. So they're not going to come to you and ask you. It's just like policy officers. They're going to come to you. and coerce you, bullying tactics, or sign or you go to jail. But if you say, is it against the law for me to sign? A lot of them will ignore the question and go around it and keep asking you a question or keep pushing the statement on you. And they won't answer it because they'll incriminate themselves, they answer it, right? Some of them would say, yeah, 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 it's against the law, but you say, show me that law. And they can't show you that law because it's a quota system. Once you sign, you give up your power. Because now they can use your own signature against you. This is how they sent many of our brothers and sisters to prison for non-violent, what they call crimes. You
Qualify your
understand?
endorsements. Always qualify your endorsements. Don't leave your endorsements open because that's where they're gonna
Mhm.
forge your shit. They're gonna forge your sign of nature and use it against you. Which forge is actually a serious crime, forgery. But they do it regardless because they got attorneys. They could pay the attorneys few $1 million and they beat the case. That's how this shit is. That's how this works. It's like
Exactly.
it's a ruling class type of situation. So if you're not in the position to have certain assets and all these things, or you're not setting up your estate properly or whatever, you're not looking in that direction, then you're just, I mean, with all the talking you do, unless you inherit some land from your ancestors and you know of it, unless you could identify what your inheritance, then otherwise you're just not really, you're just a slave. Your lack of knowledge
Yep.
makes you a slave. That's all it does. Your lack of knowledge, your ignorance, is what's keeping you in perpetual servitude. So,
So to break out of this, you have to start learning how to start practicing, or what I'll say is autonomous behavior. You understand? To where each day you do something self empowering, where you learn something of how to operate within and outside of this system and challenge portions of the system that you're in that is here to keep you submissive, subdue, right? Learn some knowledge, some information, some part of the information where you put it to use in real life, in real time. You know that it works, you put it to use and you stick to it, right? We created our ID cards. You see what I'm saying? So anywhere we go, we use our ID cards. Okay? Whether any transaction that we're doing with anyone, we use our I. To be so surprised, they take this like sponge sucking up water. They take it. Most of the places that I've been to, they don't even challenge me with this. They don't even challenge me on it. And
yeah.
that's when I'm learning now how many of the institutions out there actually understands what tribal is, and the policies and the regulations out there that protects tribal people and their documentation, and that they also welcome these documentation,
Yep.
right? So hence this is why our brother started volume 1 of this book and is coming out with the other volumes to clear up some of these things and empower you with the knowledge for these things and putting together a conglomerate of knowledge out there so that you can have something with you. You understand?
Hmm.
Because what you're seeing now is an implementation of an ID, of an electronic ID system to where these people can track you. Now, here, you want to spot government entities, programs, Coinbase, anything that is anything that has got government funding is pretty much created by the government. And anything that has government funding, these are the ones that will push taxation
Oh,
and try to tax you on certain things and these things. Okay? And will ask you for these tax forms and so on and so because they are government funded. All right. So when you're hearing some places say, well, crypto is not taxed, but then you hear Coinbase and these things saying, yo, well, we need W-2s, EINs, we need these things. Mind you, if you go into a bank today, you can show a bank two forms of ID. You don't have to show them no W-2s or nothing like that unless you took out a business account. Then they'll ask you for your business EIN or so on and so. Right? That's for that. But Coinbase is no different from a regular bank. You could borrow money from it. You could put money. You could deposit money within it. You can wire transfer money from out of it. You can build interest on your money while your money is in there. It is a bank. It quacks like a duck. It walks like a duck. It's a duck. And if they say, oh, but we're not a bank, don't let them tell you that. You tell them they're a bank because they are a bank. They're a banking institution, which means W-2 forms is optional if you want to give them that information. The IRS even tells you that. The IRS tells you if you want to give your tax information to third and fourth party companies, then you can do so. But be mindful that when you do so, you're giving up power of attorney. Then they also tell you how to revoke the power of attorney from any institution, whether that even be through Google's user agreements for those who go and join Google. And you see that now you're getting all sorts of spam calls and these things. I stopped getting spam calls. Now you see that you're getting all sorts of spam calls and these things because Google is selling your personal information to third and fourth party companies. Now, when we're going now into this, delving into this type of information, let's go into Facebook and Meta. What does Mark Zuckerberg gain to buying WhatsApp? WhatsApp is not a monetized platform. There's no commercials ran on WhatsApp. You can't. There's no. It's not a social media thing where you can promote stuff and all these things on there. It's literally a chat messenger, a private chat messenger between you, close friends, family members. No one can get it unless you give it out. No one can go on WhatsApp and just type in a random name and a list load of people pops up. It doesn't work like that. So what are they getting from WhatsApp? What is the meta? The meta is the metadata. You understand? So all those conversations that you're having on WhatsApp, Facebook has those conversations. And they pick out your information from out of there. Whatever information, personal information you put down, they take it, they store it, and they sell it. They sell it. Because when you click on the user agreement, you gave up power of attorney to WhatsApp, which means Facebook has power of attorney. But you are now supposed to send in the documentations to the chief financial officers of these establishments, whoever the CEOs are, and let them know that you are revoking power of attorney. When I was talking to Coinbase, they did not want to give me their legal department number. The supervisor said she's not coming on the phone, and she never came on the phone. You understand? They all, no one wanted to talk to me when I started them letting them know that they are the holder of the account, but they are not the executors of the account. They are the trustees. When I started letting them know that the information that I have is outside of the United States tax bracket, the U.S. jurisdiction, the phone went silent for a good 5 minutes after I dropped certain particular information. Then the person came back and act like it was a connection issue. Cause they know they messed up. You understand? So they take the average person for fools because you just clicked accept and you don't follow through with nothing else. You just let it go. You let it go, not knowing the true power that you're giving up to these people. Wake up, folks. Look like Arawak dropped out. Let me see what happened with him. Look like he dropped out, but wasn't going to keep this long anyway. Wasn't going to keep this long. But yeah, so understand, people, what's happening here. And yeah, some say what 2050 Negroes won't have any wealth. They don't have any now. They don't have any now because they signed over all their wealth, not knowing that they signed it over and that they can revoke these things with a document, just a word of say so, letting these people know that you revoke all that shit. You understand? But we live in a society where people became complacent. They're used to having other folks do things for them. So they think when a politician does stuff for them, that the politician's working on their best interest. But there's a thing called conflict of interest. If a politician, if a politician is investing in the stock market, a politician is investing in the crypto market, a politician is getting endorsements from corporations, the politician don't work for you. The politician works for the company that is endorsing he or she. If it's the pharmaceutical companies, that's who they work for. They will always draft their documents, always frame their speeches to be in favor of or to not fully demonize these entities because they're getting paid by them, which they're not supposed to be because they are public servants. So what's going to start happening now from here on forward, you're going to see them come down and crack down on you with the crackdowns that should have been happening to them. And then you're going to start seeing them start cracking down on each other with regulations that, oh, you can't invest in the stock market to their own counterparts. But they're going to do it to you first because the digital system that they've created, because if you think that the government did not create the crypto system, you are ass shit backwards. If you think it's some anonymous source just came up with this idea and then made it reach to these hundreds of millions of people going into billions now today, and you think that had no government backing, all these people did was they used crypto to make their hundreds of trillions of dollars behind the scenes, non-taxed money for years. Bitcoin been out for what, 20 years? For about 20 years. And when you caught on, especially the dark skinned man and woman caught on, because I know a lot of people, brothers and sisters that became millionaires off of crypto, non-taxed. And they started realizing that you caught on. Now they're taxing it. Now they're regulating it. Now, because you signed these agreements and you gave a power of attorney, they're selling your private information to other companies. So say you piss off someone like the Rothschilds or the Koch brothers, and they own a particular establishment. They then send that down, your information down the line to all the other banking institutions and these things, and you're blacklisted in any and everything you do. It's going to be difficult for you to get your money out of these accounts. It's going to be difficult for you to start a business, any and everything that you do. That is the dangers of this digital IDing system that's coming about. When they tell you, oh, you must take a picture, you take your picture. That you know that at the time when they was telling you to scan your ID with your picture on it, that those things were unlawful. It's not like a bank that you walk into and you see who you're dealing with, a physical bank. These are crypto banks. These are only online institutions. They don't have a physical address. You understand location to send things to. They're giving you a PO box. So unless you audit them through the IRS, that's the only way you'll get their EIN numbers, whoever their law department is, and their true actual physical location. You don't deal with PO boxes when you're dealing with corporations and businesses. Every business, every corporation has a physical location. And the location for Coinbase is in a file cabinet with the IRS. Understand? Got to start understanding this information and how this world is running because you are the main course in this caste system. There's nothing has changed. You are the main course. You are the scapegoat in this caste system. Your communities are going to be the ones most targeted in this caste system. They're going to say because of gang violence, crime rate is at an all-time high, all these things. 30 people just got shot up on this block today, and next week is going to be 40 people, but you don't see not one body because our people like hearsay. And we'll say, yeah, 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 Juicy was the one that shot up that whole block, and all them people. Oh, did you see it? Nah. Did you see all them people in the ambulance? Nah, I didn't see that. But I saw the yellow tape though, but you saw no bodies, right? You saw no bodies. But then you hear, oh, this community such the violence is outrageous. I'm not saying that there's not violence in our community, but you got to understand that they gaslight these things also. So if you know 3 people a year actually dies in your community from gun violence, the news is making it seem like it's 40, 200, 300,000. Gaslighting. Just wake up, people. Know the world that you live in. Know the system that you are operating in. Know that nothing happens without your permission to you. So because they don't tell you this directly, they come at you with intimidation tactics, aggressive manners, tones, these things. So when you're saying karma is going to come back and get them, in most cases it's not. Universal karma is not going to come back and get them for stuff that you should have been knowledgeable on for living in this realm, in this world today. You can't walk outside and just walk up and down the street and don't know the name of the street you're walking on. So you must know the system that's operating around you today, the ins and outs. You must know the IRS like the front and the back of your hand. You must know the policies of these policy officers out there like the front and the back of your hand. You must know the laws, the actual laws, like the front and the back of your hand. Who started these financial institutions? Where do they get their money from, their funding from? Who funds this hospital right here? Hmm? Who are the faces behind the funding of these things? You must know the world that you live in. You can't just go around and say, well, I voted for him, so that's for him to do. It's not, because even they told you that your vote don't even count. You're not the electoral college. So who did you vote for? You didn't vote for nothing. Electoral college is the billionaires and millionaires and trillionaires. That's not Anthony and Shaw from the block. Wake up, because in a few years, a lot of platforms you can't talk these type of stuff on a lot of platforms coming up in a few years. You think the censorship is heavy now? It's just started. So you know, like I said, kudos to Brother Lacono for the children's book that he had created. Kudos to Brother American Arawak for putting together this book here. And to all the brothers and sisters out there who righteously are putting out the information to our people so that they can be um, deprogrammed from this system, unplugged, okay? Because it's nothing more dangerous than an aborigine with knowledge and one who uses it correctly, righteously, and not to scam his people, okay? And not to try to steal land away from his people, all right? Understand, your signature is the reason why the system is the way it is today because you don't know the power of your signature, your autograph. You don't understand the difference between the living man and the straw man. You don't understand that your home is an office. Your home is an office. You are that grantor, that settlor, that administrator, that executor for that office to the straw man business. Because a straw man is a business, that all capital letter name. Understand that. Arak, you there? I think he came back in.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Go ahead. You wanna put in any words that you wanna say?
Yeah. I mean, as I was saying earlier, the book is there available now. If you want to get the book in the private, it's also available there. Could of course send the email is there. You just email and request the book and you get it. I'll show you the how to get it and you get it. As you know, it's only 15 credits on account, what you call dollars. Available on Amazon Kindle. Available in the private ebook version, of course. The details will be there when you all request your request a copy. Okay, so for further inquiries, just please don't be afraid to email me. Something you don't understand or overstand, just email me or email the nation's email address, um, and I'll just take it from there. Okay, so don't be scared to contact the email. All right, but that's about that much I'm gonna put in that for now. Pretty much I'm not gonna.
Put your email in the chat. Put your email in
Yeah,
the chat.
I'll put it in the chat. Okay, if I could.
All right. So yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, of course it's a $15 donation, of course, because so institution, um, learning institution, of course, non-profit, tribal, of course, within a tribal capacity. Okay, not in a commercial capacity, but rather tribal. Um, how do I email from here? Oh man, I don't think I can. But I believe you dropped it in there earlier. I saw the
Nah,
link in there.
I put the link. I put the link to the Kindle to the
Yeah.
Amazon. I gave them the Amazon link.
Just I can't type anything over on this side.
All right. I'll
Just
type it in. I'll
Teams.
type it in.
So yeah, I'm trying, but it's not working. Yeah. So yeah, you know, that's just much of what I'm gonna say for today, and pretty much that man, brother that man, break down the whole system in a nutshell just now. It's not really nothing more to say. More than you guys just be focused on if you want to be free and you feel like you need some kind of guidance, we as a people, as a tribal people, is here to offer what we know, and hopefully it would solve some of the problems that you're going through. So, you know, because we are non government funded, we only depend on what we do to get some kind of compensation to operate with this fiat system. Until it collapses, well, we gotta do what we can do using the fiat dollar system. So pretty much, it's not gonna be a fiat dollar system very soon. It's gonna just be a digital system on the blockchain, of course, and then that's when you're gonna be permanently enslaved. There's no coming out of that one. Why? Because you still don't know who you are, and you still identify as some fictitious entity, as if you're acting as if the name on the document is you, or the person that they sketch on the document is you, or they present to you. When you get any presentments and you see that name looks similar, but it's not the same, of course. Similar is not the same. It looks kind of like your name. Maybe acting as your name, but it's just quite not your name. It's just missing key elements to be a proper name. And of course, we don't really subscribe to a name either, because we just know that we are alive and sentient, created in a image of the most high creator. There's no sketch or graffiti that could describe us as living beings. We are who we are in the now. We are always in the now. So yeah, so you could wrap it up, brother Darman.
Yeah. So and expect you're right, especially Navarre. Mind your business. You're right. See your home. Your home is your office. You understand? A straw man is your business. It's a business well that they created. Okay, but it's a business that's functional and fully operational off of your signature. It first became fully operational off of your mother and your father's signature when they signed that birth certificate document. Okay, and then when you came of age and you didn't rebut that, you allowed it to go on when you then now went ahead and took out a social security card and you signed off on that social security. Everything everything that you signed dealing with the corporations, you continue that business to go on and gave them power of attorney to handle the affairs of that business for you.
Yeah, but one mistake you people make too, you're not appointing them in their proper positions, because if it's made for you, it should be benefit you, not
Exactly.
not be against you or cause you harm or cause you pain or cause you to have to be punching in a 9 to 5 to pay some student loans off. You should assign the debt to the proper people, because you are not obligated to the debt because you didn't create the debt. You are credit. You are always
You're the
giving
creditor.
credit. Yeah, you're the
They are
creditor,
the
because
debtor. So
nothing moves without your signature, like literally, you know.
so
So
when they tricked you into giving a power of attorney, they placed you as the debtor and
mm-hmm,
put themselves as the creditor. They switched places with you.
mm-hmm, because they're the power of attorney. The power of attorney is a creditor. So you
Yeah,
you you assign your power of attorney over to them. So now you become the debtor. That's all you did. You switch places, really, literally. That's what you did. You
yeah.
know. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, people. I know that folks was looking out for me to do the live about the 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 occultism behind the U.S. flag and uh the the occult
Mm-hmm.
meaning behind the Mama G name, who Richard Curry called Gamma G and stuff. Uh, that will be coming, but my attention is not really on YouTube right now. There's things that we're trying to situate and trying to take care of outside of YouTube, right? And we're trying to grow. We're trying to build. We're trying to formulate something that will benefit our people, right? So that's what we're working with. All right. You know your camera is on Arawak. Okay. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do.
What I
Okay.
what I want what I wanted to do too is yeah, so we just we just did this little song for tribal people, It's up on I posted on the American RX channel. It's just fun, so it's for the tribal people who like tribal creativity. You guys could go check that out too. It's a music video we did. Yeah. Go check it out. So yeah. So support. We are doing it on our own. There's no big money backing us in nothing. We are just talented people. We do books. We do we do movies. We do it all. Yeah, we help the community promote our creativity, and that's it. But yeah, um, You could close it out, brother. That one next.
All right. So with that being said, folks, I put the link to the Amazon link to the book because we told you that was going to be on Amazon, right? So that's the Amazon link. Link is in Kindle form. We'll be working on trying to get it into paperback form or hard copy form so that you guys can have it in the physical hand. If for those who don't want it just on Kindle, all right. But that is the link to it. And yeah, folks, just educate each other, right? Don't try to abuse each other. Don't try to mislead each other. Be honest with each other, right? Don't be afraid to critique each other also as well. You know, don't do it like you're trying to cut the person's heart out. But if you see your brother or your sister doing something that you feel is not right, or you feel that they can improve on, say something. It's best to say something than not say anything at all and watch your brother and your sister go out there and fail. Because if they fail and they can't achieve, they can't help you. And if you fail and you don't achieve, you can't help them and others out there to be uplifted, to be mentally free. Because the mental freedom has to come first before that physical freedom that you're looking for. You have to get up every day thinking, knowing in your head mentally that you're free. You understand? Because true freedom only comes one way at the end of the day. But if the mental aspect is not there first, then the courage, the unity that it's going to take for the other form to kick in, for the other form to be constructed, won't happen. If you're not mentally able to take particular type of stress, you're easy to break. You understand? You don't agree with a brother or a sister here, so you're quick to go turn your back on them or stab them in the back, sell them out. Then freedom isn't going to come. It will never come. You don't have to agree with every brother and sister out there, but not because you don't agree with them doesn't mean that you go out there also and attack them. Leave them be. Let them do their thing. It's not affecting you. You do your thing. You understand? That's the only way. That's one of the ways that our communities can heal. You're going to have people out there that loves you. You're going to have people out there that don't like you. But not because I don't like you doesn't mean that I'm going to go out my way to sabotage what you're doing. It makes no sense. I'm just going to focus on what I'm doing and continue to build, grow, and bring this person along, and expect that person to bring the next person along, and so on and so. And we have a community, and then that community becomes a township. Township becomes bigger than a township. So yeah, or tribe or nation, whatever words we want to use, right? So we must start with helping to educate each other, uplift each other mental, increase our vibration, our frequency, because we are vibrating very low. There's some energies out there that you could only dream of matching. But if you up your level, just know that your child will his or her duty is to surpass the level that you were on, and their children, their duty is to surpass the level that they were on. Hence, every generation advances. more and more and more each step they take. It's not like what we're seeing right now, where the young folks that are supposed to be leading this generation are degenerates. Totally missed the ball. Totally messed it up. The generation before them that was supposed to properly guide them are the reason why they're those ones today are like that, where they can tell you that a man that went ahead and had breast implants and ass shots is a woman, or created a trans name for that. This is the tomfoolery, the buffoonery that we're living in. A spade is a spade, whether it's a spade of clubs, whether it's the spade of hearts, the ace of clubs, the ace of hearts. An ace is an ace. Spade is a spade. A club is a club. You can't see a heart and say, nope, that's only the jack of diamonds, but it's a jack of hearts. Nah, it's a jack of diamonds. Well, I don't agree with your classification that it's a jack of hearts. So we're just going to say that it's non-binary. Yo, the Most High never said, yo, you know what? This is non-binary right here. The Creator never said that. And when you came out your mother, when your father put you in your mother, you came out your mother, you needed a man to plant the seed. You needed a woman to grow the seed. A transgender person can't plant and grow a seed inside themselves. A woman that chops off her breast and take what do they call it? Anyway, the hormone pills to make her grow a beard and all that, and then get pregnant. It's not a man that got pregnant. It's still a woman that got pregnant, because a man can't get pregnant. So this is the folks who are in this generation. These are the folks that are teaching the next generation to come. So we're going to be in for it for about another 1,000 years. But the ones who have the information, the ones who are practical and rational with their thinking, yeah, let's know your children won't be caught up in this mass confusion and chaos that these folks are pushing out there. Period. But with that being said, folks, I say peace, love, light to you all, honor, much respect to you all. And again, um, I'll put the link to the book in the chat for you guys. And I'll say safe travels if you're on the road. Stay safe and everywhere you go and are. And much love, much power to you guys.